Okay, try it again.
All right, can you see me now? Can you hear me? Oh, do I need to move?
I just gotta twist it out.
We have a minute.
Yeah.
Hi, folks, come have seats. We have a lot of announcements and show and tell to get through. It's that time of year.
Yes, it is.
Okay, now we can.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, all right. Hi, everybody. You're great president-elect. Good to see you today. So great to see everybody out. This is a great crowd. I just wanted to mention, there were 2 Thursday Thimbleful emails that went out. The second of the 2 is one that I sent out to everyone. If you haven't seen it yet, do check your spam. We're trying a new thing to get more visibility for Minnesota quilters across the state. So folks in St. Cloud, folks in Duluth, folks on Zoom, folks downstate, folks west state, everybody in the state. I want you to really pay attention and make an effort here. So what we're trying to do is participate in National Quilting Day, which is March 16th. Instead of doing a Zoom like we did last year, we want you to get out in your communities. Find a public library, find a coffee shop, find a sewing shop, find a brewery, find some kind of public space that will let you and some of your friends or some of the other quilters in your community get together and quilt in public. That means handwork, that means simple sewing machines, that means taking something extra for people to try. We want to raise awareness of quilting to the next generation. We want to invite other quilters who may not know about Minnesota quilters, and we want to incorporate all of you. We are a statewide organization, and we want you all to participate. There's a sign-up form if you find a spot and you want to be the organizer. Tell us how many people can attend your spot. Put it on the Google form. We will advertise that out through the Thursday Thimbleful and all our other media channels. And then people will contact you to sign up. March 16th, you quilt and you talk about quilting and you share your passion and your love of quilting. It's just that simple. I know some libraries have already filled up because we're a little late in planning. But again, coffee shops, I've set up with Treble Yard Goods in St. Paul. There's Knit and Bolt. There's all kinds of other opportunities for us to have a public presence. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me, pre-select at mnquilt.org, or find me on Facebook or whatever, or you can just email headquarters and they'll send it in. So I hope to see many of you quilting on National Quilting Day, and thank you so much. I will pass it back to Liz.
Thank you, Mia. Okay, so first up, in March, I don't know if Caroline wants to talk on this, but it's the MQP project. We'll be presenting the Minnesota Quilt Collection. Did you have anything particular other than what's on here? Okay, so on Thursday the 7th, it'll be over Zoom, and on the 9th, it'll be Zoom and room, of course, and we'll be showing, they'll actually have the quilts here from the quilt collection. So the quilt collection is actually an asset that's full of history of quilters and quilts, in particular the Minnesota quilters, right? People that founded this guild. Learn about the vision of the MQ founding mothers and see some of their creations. Next. And then in April, I don't know how many of you saw the Thursday presentation with Brita Nelson. But she will be teaching a class on disappearing blocks, and it's a sampler. It'll be a 6-hour online Zoom class. You'll make this sampler. There's some pre-work to do ahead of time, so that you can actually make all of these blocks. It'll be done as kind of a quilt-along, and you'll be able to make all those blocks and hold them up and show them to everyone as you go, as long as you do the pre-work, which is pretty straightforward. I think she has you make a couple of 4 square blocks and 9 square, and just have all your fabric ready to go. And then for people who actually take the class, there's 20 additional disappearing block patterns that you'll get. So you can actually buy the pattern on her website, but if you take the class too, you'll get a few extras, so. The email invitation will be coming soon to your inbox.
You know what the cost is?
No. It's a 6-hour workshop, so it'll probably be over $50. In March, we have a workshop with Tracy Trevathan, and this is live, and it should have gone out as an email invitation to you already. March 9 from 1 to 4, just after the MQ meeting. Tracy will be teaching us how to get started with Wool Applique, and she actually designed this pattern just for us, so it's a brand new pattern, and that's why the bird isn't embroidered yet, because it's still in process. So, but she will be teaching us all the basics: fusing, gluing, stitching. She'll teach you how to get from pattern to applique, and then she'll go over some embellishment stitching too, and you'll actually hopefully get to the part where you're actually doing the stitching. And as I said, the email invitation is coming, and it's also on the website now to sign up. And I think that one's 50. And once again, just a reminder, BQ Nation Challenge. If you are working on your BQ Nation quilt, BQ5 or any of the other BQs, you can enter it into the show. There's a separate category for it, just like the mystery quilts. So you don't have to pay to enter it. And we're all looking forward to having a great display at the quilt show of all our different renditions of BQ. And now I'm going to turn it over to Brenda, and she is going to talk about the quilt show.
Thank you. I'm Brenda Lacing, show director. How many of you have registered for the show? Oh, that's awesome. So opening day for members was January 16th. Opening days for non-members was Tuesday. And so we saw some nice peaks. We also saw workshops filling up. We have 3, I believe they're sold out already, and quite a few that have maybe 5 spots left. So if you want to take a workshop, this is the weekend to do it if you haven't registered yet. You can also get your banquet tickets. If you are a member, you would have gotten an email, a couple of emails, a reminder, and that has a special link. If you use that link, it will autofill your information. If you can't find the email, it's okay. When you go to the website, which is not on here, there's a register now button that magically appeared at 11 p.m. on the 31st when I went to bed. So the website is www.mnquilt.org, which is our normal, then /MQ 2024. Okay, or you should be able to Google Minnesota Quilt Show. You can buy daily tickets. We have daily tickets for sale today here too. Non-member tickets are $2 off until April 1st, and then they'll go up to $15. Member tickets are $12. So if you're not taking a class, you just need to get a daily ticket. If you are taking a class, part of your registration fee is a 3-day pass to the quilt show. So that's included in that. Okay. So first thing I want you to do is sign up for your classes. Next thing I want you to do is start thinking about your quilts that you've made this year or you're going to start making, and get them in. There are so many categories. We will find a spot for your quilt. Okay. Entry deadline for all the quilt entries is April 16th. So Tuesday, I believe.
Pay your taxes and enter your quilt.
What?
Pay your taxes and enter your quilt.
Yeah, do your taxes, do your quilt first and then do your taxes. Okay. We're doing something new. We're not having the quilt auction this year, which I know is sad. We're going to try something different. We're going to allow you to sell your quilt, your exhibited quilt. So you have to exhibit it in order to sell it, okay? But that way it's shown in all of its glory. It's on pipe and drape and everything. It's got a little gallery card. And on that gallery card is the price that you tell us you want to sell it for. Now, MQ is gonna take a commission because we are displaying, we're gonna do all the money and all that kind of stuff, and it's a fundraiser for us too. So, we're gonna take a 20% commission. So there'll be more information appearing on our the show website soon, along with a couple of links to help you decide how much you should sell your quilt for. We do not want you to undervalue your work. These are pieces of art, and we want you to think that way, okay? I sold a piece at the Fine Arts exhibit at the State Fair. I didn't think it was gonna sell. I should have put another 1 in front of my price. Because, dang, I missed out. But, you know, I priced it for 600 and it sold. I was pretty excited. So I want you to really think serious about this. And I also want you to think the opposite way too, is if you know people who love quilts but don't quilt and want to buy a really nice quilt, tell them to come to the quilt show and do their shopping. Okay? Yeah, let's hope it works. Okay, meet the teachers. Last time I was up here for a long time talking, and we talked about all the teachers, and this time in February, you get more one-on-one time with the teachers, and I've got some updates here. We'll be sending out reminders and stuff, but this is something we started, I think 3 years ago, Liz, when we were trying to convince people that, yes, you can take online classes. And now we're trying to convince you, yes, you can take in-person classes in Duluth. Okay, so the teachers are gonna be online for about 15 minutes each. They're gonna talk about the workshops, explain their kit fees, explain levels of experience that you need, but mainly they're there to answer your questions. And it helps you decide, yeah, is this the right class for me or not? And you can always trade out your classes. We'll help you transfer your registration from one to another. So the first one's coming up fast, Monday the 12th, and I think, yeah, so David Owen Hastings, Medea Delgado, Gwen Hanby, and Carly Porter. And then on the 16th, Claudia Myers, Maria Shell. And we do have a quilt shop that's sponsoring, so thank you to Hannah Johnson Fabrics. Still looking for 3 more sponsors. And then on the 20th, we have Kathy Curler, Kira Reps, and Helen Smith Stone. And on the last time, we have Vicki Conley, Brandy Maslowski, and Ruth Ann Berry. And one of those times, Guylene Fitzgerald will be joining us too. And we might have 1 or 2 more faculty members, but we will be sending this out. I'll put it on the show website so you can register for the Zoom meeting. This is all Zoom. It'll be in the Thursday Thimble. So yeah, okay. Next. Okay, the road trip. How many of you picked up a packet? Okay, so here's a little more details about the packets. So first of all, there's still tags up there. So if you didn't get a chance, you can go back and pick up a packet and do your road trip. What we want you to do is take your picture with the owner. And I don't know if you saw on our Facebook site, Tina Rode and Colleen Shashkin came in early and they went up to Pelican Rapids and did a road trip. And they are very good and savvy about Facebook. So they took a picture of those shops and put it on our Minnesota Quilters Friends site. So it's a good way to give a shout out to our quilt shops. Now, if you don't travel, 2 more options for you to be involved in this. If you want to just take some packets with you, seal them up, and go to the post office and pay for the postage, awesome. That is just fine, okay? If you want to just give me a check to cover postage, that's fine too. I'll take cash too, okay? So we want you to find, this is a way for you to spread the word, and however you want to get involved is just fine with us. We are, again, we've got the quilt guilds, we've got the quilt shops. Next week, I'll be probably putting out some packets to some fiber art organizations. We're really trying to get fiber artists besides just the quilters. We want to expand this out, so we're going to be sending out information to them too. And somebody is going to the Iowa Quilt Museum And we just put together a pack for that. I mean, doy, what a good idea, right? So, okay, next one.
Okay, I'm gonna let somebody else take this. I think.
Thank you, Brenda. I'll be happy to. Well, this is volunteer in general. It's not just the show, right? I'm not sure where the slide came from, but it was there.
Actually, I think I made that up.
I think you did too. That's why I was surprised. But there are various tasks you can help with now, including a lot of pre-tasks that you can pre-show tasks you can sign up for. And then, of course, there's tasks you can do pre-show at the Duluth Center. So there's always plenty to do. And even if you don't sign up, if you show up early and just say, I'm here, can I help? Believe me, we'll put you to work, right?
Yep.
So just go check out Sign Up Genius on a Q site. It's under the tab that says Get Involved. And then it'll bring you to a page, look for the pre-show tab. And also check out the Thursday Thimble. We're always coming up with ways, we're always putting things in there about ways you can help out. And one of them this time was we had shadow the meeting coordinators to see what we do. And if you'd like to volunteer, and I want to thank Kathy very much for being available to do that today. So thanks, and she gets a couple of fat quarters. And can we forward to the next slide, please? Okay, so in Saturday, so it was in the Thursday Thimble, I think, last week, but we just wanted to see if people wanted to stay after the meeting, bring lunch, get together, sponsored by membership, and if you have time following the meeting, just stay and gather with us. Bring a project to work on. If you have questions, that would be great. We're gonna leave the tech table set up for a while if anybody wants to see how things work or how things don't work, in my case usually. We'll be happy to show you. Thanks. And which is what I just ended up talking about. So, okay. Minnesota Quilt Project booth at the show. I don't know if Caroline wants to talk about this.
If you have been cleaning your closets, your stash, please think about Minnesota Quilt Project's booth, because we sell donated items at our booth at the show. We've done that for many, many years, and it brings in good income that Minnesota Quilters uses for outreach and for education. So please think about us. You can contact our email, or you can just bring things here to the office. Thanks.
Is there a date as far as the items that you want, as far as being old or new or reproduction?
Yes, we would prefer more vintage items, although we also have things, vintages now, 70s, 80s.
Thank you, Caroline. Next slide, please. Okay, so it's time for show and tell. And this is,
it's not.
no, it's not. Excuse me, I forgot.
How can you forget? I'm so obnoxious.
Okay, guys, I have, Pat isn't here today, so Louise has kindly offered to be the assistant, but she didn't get any training, so hang in there.
Okay.
So, challenge packets for the challenge for the Minnesota Quilt Show this year is just a little itty bitty packet of stuff. And for your stuff, you get a couple of pieces of fabric. One of them has a bird. One of them doesn't match the bird fabric at all. In addition, we have a strip of orange elastic. Everybody has some of that in their collection, I'm sure. This is green and silver yarn that was purchased in Nantes, France this spring. Just for you guys. And last but not least, the template. And it's a little honeycomb, and you need to have the honeycomb in there in fabric. Some people have asked if they just need to paste it on, but no, fabric, please. Okay, and you get all of those wonderful things for $5.
Plus tax.
Plus tax. That's true. I get, yeah. She knows what she's doing. Anyway, the quilts, this is probably the biggest size that you can make, 64 square inches around. So they're not big, they're not monstrous. You can use your stuff any old way you like. We thought it was kind of fun to have different examples for you. Your packets are $5 plus Minnesota tax. I'm over there. That's how you can get them today. Or you can order them online through our shop. You can also order them through your advance registration. The ones that are ordered through the shop or online, we try to mail them out once a week. So, you know, I'm not gonna get it overnight. Amazon doesn't do that well anymore either. And there are cash prizes. First prize is $100, second is 75, and third is 50. You would need to enter your project by April 16th. But as I told someone recently, you don't have to even have started it because you don't need it until the Monday before the show. So anyway, think about those things. I'd love to have loads of them see. And you will pay a higher fee when you enter your quilt. However, we don't want you to break the bank investing in the kit. So there you go. And I'm really looking forward to this. Pat and I are we think it's gonna be just an awesome display. Thank you. And now you.
Thank you very much, Karen. And I think that's a wonderful idea that you don't have to pay until you enter it, because I always buy the packet and then I forget to do it, and I paid the whole entry fee and everything. So I think, is there anybody else who needs to make an announcement that I might have forgotten or whatever? Diane.
Just saying that, if you brought anything on the free table,
You brought anything for the free table, you need to bring it home if it isn't done at the end of the meeting. Otherwise, it comes to QFO and we get overwhelmed.
Thank you. And now it's time for show and tell. Do we have anybody in the room with show and tell? You can line up and put your name on the clipboard. And meanwhile, I am going to go through the ones online first.
oh.
Patel? Okay, Patel.
Patel is, it's not a quilting thing, I guess, my family, my little sister, my older sister, her best friend, competed in the national,
St. Paul Winter Carnival Jigsaw Puzzle Contest. St. Paul Winter Carnival Jigsaw Puzzle Contest 1,000 piece.
yay, we came in 99 out of 160. The town that I want to say is one of our competitors went to a bar where they had a jigsaw puzzle thing going on. But I was thinking for National Quilt Day, you can take a quilt puzzle to a bar. They put on little headlamps and you can taste different beers and do a jigsaw puzzle with quilting on it. And that could be a way to promote quilting.
That is a wonderful idea. Supposed to be things to go, okay. All right, now we're gonna do the online show and tell. Yep, and now. There we go. This is Brenda Lysing's quilt. I don't know if you want to talk about it quick, Brenda, since you're here.
Oh, I'm up here too much, but this little study, that's my grandson born in May, and he's a love of my life, along with the other ones too. So this is a koala. If you are familiar with Charlie Harper, this is a pattern that somebody got permission to make all the Charlie Harper paintings into quilts. And this one, you make the koala as a applique. You piece it all together and then I fused it down and then appliqued it on. And I can't really tell, but there's a fiber running through here that I've had for 20 years. Finally found the project for it. So yeah, that's Sebastian's quilt.
Thanks, Brenda. Adorable. And Jude, do you want to talk about yours? So I don't just read.
Yeah, for the first time, I signed up for the Modern Quilt Guild's mini swap. And you get paired with another Modern Quilt Guild member somewhere. And this was the first little quilt I made for that. It's Christmas this year. This is what it looked like. It was gray and gray and gray. And I thought, oh no, I don't want someone I don't really know to think I'm that depressed. So I made her a different one and I kept this one. Next slide. I made her Winter Solstice, The Light Returns. It's one of my favorite days on the calendar. It gives me hope that the light will return. And this is a Cara Gulati pattern from decades ago that had these templates. The swirlies in the back are a template series, and the rest is just improvisational piecing and some stitching. So, and I sent it off. It lives in Pennsylvania, and I got a photo of where it's living. I wish I lived there. But, you know, it was a lot of fun to get to know somebody across, you know, the country and email back and forth. So if you are thinking about doing a swap with a perfect stranger, go ahead. Next one. My grandson told me that Triceratops were red. So to commemorate his first visit to the Science Museum here in St. Paul, I had one that afternoon and dug out one of my old designs and made him a red Triceratops. My son used to work at the Science Museum, and one of his jobs was vacuuming all the dinosaurs once a year. So we had, you know, we like dinosaurs. The frill on that one is fish leather. And in the Christmas in Minneapolis one, the river is also fish leather in that little quilt. Next. Well, he liked that one. And then he told me that Tyrannosaurus Rex were orange and purple and pink and red and blue and green. So I looked up a little design and made him another dinosaur, and they are on his wall. That's the insult.
Thanks, Tina. I think there's another one. This is Chris Runyon. I don't know, is Chris here? I think so. She sent in these two pictures. Now, this is fun because February 1st is my twin daughter's birthday, so I'm sharing these quilts that I made for them in the early 80s. They are non-identical twins, so I made non-identical log cabins. And if you can see, the blocks are exactly the same, it's the sets are different. And one of them is in pristine condition, she says, and the other is now in tatters. Machine pieced and hand quilted with Mountain Mist polyester bat. And this is Julia Cola. I don't think he's here either. This started with a pack of 12 fat quarters from a friend's stash and some background fabric from my stash. The pattern is Jewel Box from Quilt a Day. And she quilted herself on her domestic machine. Next. And this is Deborah's challenge piece, which you saw us holding up a few minutes ago. Deborah, it's very creative. And Mike Ellingson, who is not here today either. Sarah's Superstar was made from a photo, no pattern, but as you know, he is a pattern designer for a friend's 50th birthday. And next. And here's another one, a line stars table runner from a gifted kit pattern adapted to add space between the stars so he can add more of his beautiful quilting. Look at those feathers, those are great. Next. And now, before we do door prizes, we will have people in the room. Joan, did you? Okay.
Dave Bodenhamer from Lino Lakes. As some of you know, I've been working on my mother-in-law's stash. She passed away in 98, so I think they've been stored long enough. The blue came from my stash. I was hoping to tame it down a little bit, because it was a lot of quilt blocks, and in fact, this is my next one. She did a lot of them, so I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of them, but maybe muslin in between to tame it down.
Are they hand done?
Yeah, some of them, or most of them actually are hand done, so.
Orphan box at the banquet.
So they're not all the same size either. That was a challenge. And the next one also is from my mother-in-law's stash. When I laid it out, it looked kind of odd. It was long and narrow. So and it didn't finish for like,
Maybe we should hold it the other way.
it stopped. The Hasbro triangle stopped here, and I thought, well, you need to continue that. So the top and the bottom, I was in her stash, I was able to find more of the 4 patches, but I had to use my stash for the diamonds. But I think I did okay, kind of getting the same feel of the older ones. So this is not bound yet. That's another challenge to figure out what to bind it with, but it may be gone before the next meeting, so I wanted to show it.
Thank you.
Jan Schmidt from Coon Rapids, and I picked this panel up at the garage sale last year, and it didn't take much to make it, a baby quilt. So thank you for whoever brought that to the garage sale.
Hi, I'm Becky Lindgren. I knit with a good friend and she had a grandbaby. And, who's in South Carolina. And then I found that out. I had the baby, I got COVID, long COVID. And when I went to get my sewing machine, I couldn't remember how to thread it. It was really scary. So this is the color she likes. I have to get it, build it up this week and out to South Carolina.
Do you have any other show in town? No? All right, we are going to move to door prizes. And, okay, first off, we have this really nice spinning cutting mat. And Jenny, watch my ticket number, because this is what I put my money for. And I'm going to ask somebody right here. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And we have 528 is the last number. And next up, we have a charm pack with one of these little rollers, which I think are like a seam press.
Yeah.
Here. Okay, and this one is 535. 535, are you still in the room? All right. Oh, chart here, yes. And next we have a fat quarter pack with a steamroller also. Cute little pink, of course, everything we chose this month was pink for Valentine's Day. Oops.
That's the one that.
Maybe this is the one we picked because it just came flying out. 564.
Sounds like me flying all over the place. You know that?
And next up, we have a pair of scissors and some beautiful shiny, as in glittery, embroidery thread. And 550. Here you go. Have fun with those threads. They're always a challenge. Oh, you don't want the threads? Why not? Okay, draw another ticket.
I need threads, here we go.
Five, 6, 7.
This is perfect, because I didn't want the scissors.
And last of all, we have a bundle of flannel fat quarters, which seems to be the popular one.
I know, I just. Sorry.
It's okay. 536. Okay. And then how many Zoomers do we have online?
21.
Thank you.
We need to randomly generate a number to pick one of them to get an admission to the show.
Favorite number 6.
Number 6?
Number 6 is what we came up with. Can we write down who number 6 is and we'll figure it out? Yeah, just count from the top down. But don't count us. All right, I think that's all we have today. Brenda's got one more announcement. Yeah, you shouldn't sit down, Brenda. You should just hover up here. Thank you all for coming.
This is mainly for the Zoomers who feel left out, that they don't get to take a marketing packet. I really want those marketing packets to go. We're gonna have those out in the office area here for at least 2 or 3 weeks before we mail them. So when you come for Quilting for Others on Wednesdays between 11 and 1, you pick up some packets. You can come Tuesday through Friday. We are in the office 10-ish, 11-ish to 5-ish. So stop in and grab some packets, okay? I think that's it. Okay, everybody wave to the Zoomers and Zoomers, you wave to us. Thanks, guys. And do some more shopping. You got, and stick around and hang out with people.
All right, that's what we were doing today. Stick around if you want to join membership, or if you want to come see what we do up here at the meeting coordinator table. You're more than welcome.